Simon Told Helen wins a half length. Jack Manelli second.
Welcome to Greyhound Gossip.
Peaky Blinders start cheering for Tommy Shelby wins the WA Sprint Championship final.
Featuring Peter O'Neill and Leia Ernest.
Mozza moves up to Mermaid Manelli. Fab's Gem 3 deep. Here comes Fab's Gem.
Hard Style Rico by 5 lengths to Simon Told Helen. Third Tommy Shelby.
This segment is dedicated to the discussion and promotion of greyhound racing.
Cindy's Oliver, Rockstar Patriot, Paul Stewart, back-to-back with Rockstar Patriot in the Galaxy.
Handsome Prince, a boulder clear. The former Tasmanian Handsome Prince has won the $1 million chase.
And a very good morning, everyone. Tune into Greyhound Gossip this Monday. And, of course, a very good morning to you, Peter O'Neill.
And a very good morning to you, Leia, and everyone. Welcome along. Yes, we're counting down to the Sandgroper, which is only a couple of weeks away, or in fact less than 2 weeks away. And what a weekend it was last weekend with heats of the Good Friday Cup and also the Lou Dawson Memorial. Yes,
and we saw two of the Sandgroper Greyhounds take out both heats of the Lou Dawson heat with Elite Machine and Electrified.
And wasn't the tracker light? 29.41 for the win of Elite Machine was outstanding and won by 5 lengths, the Perth Cup winner, and is now firmed in the market for the Sandgroper, which we'll touch on a little bit later on with Jason Lincoln. And then Electrified was too good, winning from Crumble Manelli and Firecloud in 29.63 in the second of the heats. On Friday night, we saw I'm a Tiger win, and also Key Moment was the quickest qualifier in the heats of the Good Friday Cup, went 21.80. Of course, recently went 15.80 over the 275. So the box draw taking place tomorrow will be very, very interesting. I'm not sure if you were tuned in to Chasing Winners on Friday, Leia. I threw one out at $91, all spiked up, and I got off the chair coming towards the home corner when he loomed up to Mohican Mistress, just peaked on his run, running second. I think $19 the place.
Wow-wee.
But gee whiz, we wouldn't have been on the program this morning if he'd won.
No, definitely not. And, Pete, sometimes it's those ones, even if it's a place at $91 and $19 for a place, that's huge.
Yeah, Sharon was very happy. She's got $100 in her account now, so she doesn't normally bet that big $5 for a place, but she was very, very happy. She had her hair done on Saturday morning. Let's continue on with Greyhound Gossip. We're about to be joined by Dave Robartson. Dave, good to have you on the program this morning. How do we find you?
Well, thanks, Pete and Layla.
And Dave, how are you going post-surgery, if you don't mind us asking?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm back on the mend. They put you on blood thinners during the wash day, so it takes a little bit of sting out of you, but no, I'm coming good now.
It looked like you had a bit of a spring in your step on Saturday, and great to see Christine at the track yesterday as well. So the family working hard, and obviously you're working overtime with Throttle at the moment. How's he coming along? Only 12 days out from the Sandgroper. Is he going to be your contender?
I would hope so, yeah. He trialled really well day. He broke 15 in the slip over 300, so that's a good sign for him. Last time when I brought him back, I think he ran the 15.03 or 15.04, and he came out and run his best time. So I'm hoping with another run tonight or Saturday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, I'll get it right in a minute, he'll be okay.
Okay, so what are the plans, and when do you have to make a decision by, Dave?
I think the nominations close. I think today we have to notify them, and yes. I think next Tuesday the nominations close. Okay. But I think we've got to let them know today, sort of, that we're going ahead.
And at this stage, on what you've seen in that under 15-second run the other day when you slipped him, you're obviously fairly confident that he's going in the right direction.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. After Thursday, what would the plan be? Would he then have another slip before going into the final on the Friday?
Yeah, he'll probably go into that's just Thursday, probably after Tuesday, after Monday. He'll probably go have a couple of slips up my straight at home after that. That should just about peak him bring him to his top.
And with him, yeah, well, let's hope he is, because he's a very, very talented chaser, as we've seen. And he's always gone well fresh before, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. That's when he come out and he ran 39. I think he only had a couple of gallops pre that race, and that's, I said, he came out and ran 15.03, I think it was. and then went on to win that the Sprint Championship.
Well, Dave, it sounds like he's definitely good to go for the Sandgroper, just depending on how everything goes in the upcoming week. But if for some reason you decide you're not happy with him, have you got a contingency plan?
Not at this stage. No, I'll know more tonight. That'll tell a bit of the story, just about.
Yeah, everything's looking forward to going forward, and hopefully you do get him right, Dave, and good to see and hear that your health is better as well. So we wish you all the best of luck with Throttle. It's an exciting time. There's $500,000 on offer on the 14th of April, and we hope to see you there.
Yep, so do I. Thank you very much.
Good on you, Dave Robartson, out of hospital. He's fighting fit again, which is great news, and he did have a spring in his step, and great to see his wife, Christine, there yesterday. They've had so much success over the years, Leia, and let's hope that they can get Throttle to the line there for the Sandgroper coming up, part of the Western Trilogy, on Friday the 14th of April. We're about to head across to Jaquie Greenhough, who joins us because Wow She's Fast was announced last week by Sportsbet as their contender. She came across just prior to the Perth Cup to trial, and then just had an issue with her blood, so she went back to Melbourne, but she's meant to be right now, and we're about to find out how she is going as Jaquie joins us this morning. Jaquie, Peter O'Neill and also Leia Ernest with you. Good morning, and how do we find you?
You find me very well, and thank you for having me, Kate.
Yeah, how's Wow She's Fast going?
She's going terrific. Yeah, she's really, now that her bloods are all right, and she trialled the other day and she went fantastic, so we're very, very happy with her.
What are the plans now with her, Jaquie, from, well, I suppose right now in the next 2 weeks leading up to the Sandgroper?
Well, she's going to have a run up the straight here at home today, and then she'll be flying over there tomorrow to Steve and Kira's place. So then they will trial her probably Thursday or Friday. I don't know what day Cannington trial, but that's what she'll be doing, and then it's in their hands.
Okay. Will you be coming across, you and Cal coming across for our first ever slot race here in Perth?
No, we will actually, we're going to be away, so we're not going to be able to come across.
Okay, so it's in the hands of Steve Withers, who's obviously had a strong association with you when he travelled around Australia with his wonderful chaser.
Exactly, yeah. We're going to leave her in Steve's. He's very competent with looking after her. He knows her routine, and because she stayed there for about a week previously before the Cannington Perth Cup. So he knows what to do, he knows what to feed her, he knows her routine, and him and Kira are looking forward to it, I think.
Do you know what the problem was, Jaquie, when she first came across to Perth? Was it something that she caught on the plane coming across or not?
No, it wasn't actually something she caught. It was because she travelled over, and I think there were 6 or 7 poochy little puppies all around her, and she was a mess when she got off, and it just stressed her out, and hopefully this time they won't be there.
Have you seen in her since she's been back? Is she like what she was when she went around in the Phoenix and the Temlee earlier in the year?
Absolutely. Her blood's perfect now, and she's firing on all cylinders. So, we're certainly looking forward to it.
I know you do all the hard work at the kennels, and Kel loves taking the glory. He comes on Greyhound Gossip, and we appreciate it. So it's great to speak to you this morning. What's it like to train a greyhound that's won over $2 million in stake money?
It's a bit surreal, actually. It's something. If you'd said to me even 10 years ago, that a dog could win that much money, I would say, I wouldn't have believed you. But with the money that's on offer these days, I don't think she's going to be the only one.
No, and the ride that you've had with Sportsbet, they've really enjoyed the company with you.
Sportsbet think they own her. So, they were down here the other day filming her again. I said, seriously, you must have enough footage for this dog to not have to come and do her every time she's in a race. But they just love her. They want to put a statue of her up at the Meadows.
Yeah, well, they'll be across here, of course, in Perth. They're bringing a lot of their supporters across, so we're looking forward to seeing them. And we're looking forward to seeing Wow She's Fast back in Perth as well. For me personally, to be able to call Australia's highest stake earning greyhound will be fantastic. Really looking forward to it. To you and Cal, enjoy your holiday, and we'll look forward to catching up with you soon.
Definitely we'll do that, and I tell you what, you're going to enjoy Sportsbet, so have fun.
Hey, Jaquie, just before you go, are you and Cal talking football at the moment? What's happening with your football team?
Well, I don't know. What are you talking about? I've only got the premiership to fall back on, so that's what I do.
Good on you. Enjoy your holiday and good luck with Wow She's Fast.
Thank you very much, Pete. Thanks, Layla.
Good on you. Jaquie Greenhough joining us, and of course a Geelong supporter. They've had a little bit more success than our team's Leia, but I had to put that in, the fact that Geelong are love 0 and 3. You know, why not? Because I know this our next special guest is going to probably put the beats into me when he joins us. So let's head to Jason Lincoln.
Now on Greyhound Gossip, we welcome the Greyhound guru, Jason Lincoln, from Sky Racing.
She's a pearl in full flight at the home turn. She led it by 6 on Coast Model. Richard Otter getting up on the inside. But this is greatness from a champion. She's a pearl wins the $10 million chase.
Jason Lincoln, good morning.
Morning to you, Pedro. Leia, how are we?
Good. How do we find you?
Chipper. Really looking forward to a big week of greyhound racing ahead, mate.
All right, before we touch on what is coming up, well done to the connections. Daniel Williams and Jamie Marsh. Elite Machine was named the Greyhound Clubs Australia Greyhound of the Month for the month of March. So not too many WA Greyhounds get that award. So well done to Daniel and also Jamie. What did you make of the Golden Easter Egg run? And first of all, I'll ask you, what did you make of Pearl's run? She won't be going back to back, obviously. What did you make of her run in the semi-final?
Yeah, and look, she just a non-factor again. Sort of went up with the lids and. The writing was on the wall the week before. She won in, as we said, pretty average style for her, and she wasn't able to back that up. So, look, it is what it is. It was a good night of chasing. Just touching on Elite Machine, though, I did have a couple of shandies with Patch after the races at Wentworth Park, and we went to a pub pretty nearby to watch those 2 heats at Cannington. They were absolutely spectacular. The win of Electrified was enormous.
It was enormous. Elite Machine, some quick time as well, but the track has been very, very slick. They are deep raking it today, so it'll be ready to go for the Sandgroper on the 14th. Custom Manelli was very, very good, led for a long way and has drawn ideally. He's come up at $4 with Tab Touch. Baby JC at $2.80. Simply Limelight in 3 at $3.40. And Elite Alex, I think, is $7 at the moment. Is certainly firmed in from when you tipped him.
Yeah, I think the box draws probably made it pretty tough for anything drawn outside of box 3 here. I think the market's got it spot on. Whether that remains the market order come race night, I guess we'll see. But 1, 2, 3 look to have a decided advantage. They're almost the 3 most impressive through the heats, and then to them come up with the inside 3 boxes, it's going to be hard to beat either of those 3 home.
Can Custom Manelli, do you see the way that's mapping? Custom Manelli jumps to the lead, and will there be trouble behind him, do you think?
I don't think he's guaranteed to cross Baby JC, Pedro.
No?
Okay. But the dog drawn outside of him, Simply Limelight, won't necessarily match it with him early. So, look, I'd be absolutely expecting to land on the pace, but, I wouldn't be guaranteed that he crosses the dog on his inside.
And how good was it for Kat Ernst? How emotional was she? She wasn't even going to nominate a couple of her runners for the Golden Easter Egg, and now she has qualified a runner after winning a semi-final. Belmont Bullet, while he might go around as the outsider at $81, it is a massive thrill for a young girl who's grown up loving greyhounds. She's been working for Sky Racing and the catching pen for many years. She's worked closely with you and I, and to see the emotion that she showed after that race was just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Her and Joe I guess maybe 4 or 5 years ago decided to have a decent sort of crack at it. And the first dog they actually trained when they decided to get right into it was, in fact, were a couple of mine. I've had a bit of success with them over the last few years as well. But, they absolutely live and breathe it. Kat and Joe works in the industry as well for one of the corporate bookmakers, and as you said, Kat works for Sky, and before that she worked for one of the online publications. So she's always been in and around the industry. Her uncle Gary trains, the dad has always been in the industry, so yeah, they're absolutely steeped in it. And she was overcome by the emotion. You made a really good point that both he and Hurricanes Fury, who made the semi-finals, they were both only entered in the egg heats because they extended nominations. They were really getting ready for the Grade 5 heats of the Ultra Sense. And it just goes to show, I think it's a lesson for everyone in greyhound racing. I know there's a lot of prize money around now and you can pick your spots a bit better, but, you know, if you're not adventurous and you don't have a go, you'll never know. And there's case in point. I think, a lot of people wouldn't have bothered entering either of those dogs, and she'd have been happy if they both got run out at the semi-final stage. But for Zach, which is Belmont Bullet's kennel name, to win, it was enormous. You'd have thought she won the final, Pedro. I said I might have to have some medical staff on hand if she's able to knock it off on Saturday night.
I reckon she'll collapse.
She's going to need pretty urgent medical attention, I would have thought.
Yeah. Oh, good on her. And she's looking great at the moment as well. What about the Association Cup? Corborn Magic at $2.10 from box number 7, currently the favourite with Tab Touch. Banded Jane at $4.60. Ritzer Piper at $5 and Zipping Whiskey at $7.50. Is it Corborn Magic's race to lose?
You'd think so, but like the majority of greyhound races, Pedro, the box draw is going to have a big say in it, and one of the big issues for him is going to be the presence of Silver Luck drawn outside of him. Silver Luck has more speed than him and is an absolute desperate fenter, and we saw, it's a very similar setup to Victor Damien in the semis last week. Pedro, by far the fastest dog in the race, but because of the presence of a very fast beginner who was desperate to get to the fence drawn outside of him, that really made his task all the more difficult on Saturday night, and unfortunately he was run out for his supporters. But it could well be the same sort of scenario for Corborn Magic at the prices they are there at the moment. And I've never actually really been a fan of hers in the past. I thought Ritzer Piper's run in the heat was excellent, and a low draw is essential for her, which she's got. So the price that she is, she'd probably be the way I'd be leaning there at the moment.
All right, a couple of Manellis in feature finals over the weekend or leading up to the weekend. And Meteor Manelli's drawn box number 8, currently $6 with Trapper Tears out in 7 in the launching pad. Tab Touch has Trooper Tears at $2.25, Starline Express in 5 at $4.20. Can Meteor Manelli get across from the pink?
I think you struggle. The dog in the yellow, Starline Express, would just about be one of the best beginners in Australia at the moment. I think he went $4.95, $18.50 in the heat. They're a very, very elite set of sections, Pedro, and he backed that up in the semi-final last week. So it'll be difficult for him to get around, I would have thought, even Trapper Tears early, let alone Starline Express. He's going really well, Meteor. There's no doubt he's got the ability to win it, but I don't think the draw suits him.
Now, since you've seen the heats, how do you find the box draw for the Lou Dorsa? Electrified, drawn in 1, $3.20, Amplified on his outside, $5.50. Crumble Manelli has drawn box 5s at $4, and the Perth Cup winner, Elite Machine, quickest qualifier, has drawn out in box number 7, currently the $3 favourite.
Yeah, I guess it's made it a little bit more interesting. I mean, having Crumble in the middle there as well. Really competitive race. I'd say that's going to... the result of that race will go a long, long way to deciding who'll start favourite in the Sandgroper, I reckon, Pete. As much as the box draw is going to play a massive part in the Sandgroper, I've been saying this for 6-7 weeks now, the local form's the form that's going to play in the race.
And, Jace, we are 11 days off the Sandgroper. We've got pretty much all slots filled aside from 2 Team Britain and Friends as well as Team Guest still yet to announce their chosen runner. But we do have the rest of the field announced, and we've got Elite Machine currently $4. Wow, She's Fast, $4.50. Victor Damien, $5. Electrified at $6. She's a Pearl out to $8, and Fernando Mick at $15. What are your thoughts here before, obviously, the box draw and the other runners have been announced?
Yeah, look, I'd only be reiterating what I just said. I'd be focusing most of my attention on the local dogs. I think their form, especially over the past few weeks, has been to a good enough standard that they're going to be the dogs to beat, just given the lack of experience that the interstate dogs have over there. It's just, I can't reiterate strongly enough how essential that local Cannington form's going to be. So I think Elite Machine, Electrified deserve to be pretty much at the top of the betting there.
And she's a pearl now that she's not going into the Golden Easter Egg final. What are her plans? Do you know what her plans are ahead of the Sandgroper?
No, I haven't spoken to Andy. I don't know whether I'm rare as an owner, but I rarely sort of ring the trainers or let them do their own thing. I'll probably catch up with Joe at some stage today and find out what the situation is. But no, I haven't spoken to anyone about her yet.
Okay, well, it'll be interesting whether she does come across to trial on the weekend prior, but he was always saying that he would bring her straight across next week and go straight into that final. We spoke earlier on, you wouldn't have heard the interview, but we spoke earlier on with Dave Robartson. He's very happy with the way Throttle's going. Went under 15 seconds in a trial here on last week, and will trial either tonight or on Thursday. And the nominations have to be in, I think, today, so he doesn't have much room to wriggle there, but by all reports he's going along nicely, and then the other question mark is going to be on who Team Britain and friends select as well.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, they're amongst the most astute people going around, so if the Robartsons think he's tracking the right way, then I'll take their word for it. And look, I don't think there's certainly going to be any reservations about a dog like him going into a series like this as fresh as he is, Pete. I mean, his stamina's not in question at all. I mean, it's almost advantageous possibly having him on the fresh side, so if they can get him there in 100% nick fitness-wise, you can be guaranteed that he'll run his race, that's for sure.
What's the longest price winner that you've tipped on Sky Racing?
$81. I tipped. I've done that a couple of times. I tipped Iberia Bale in a heat of the Melbourne Cup going back a couple of years ago, and I tipped Bago Bluff in a heat of the Gold Cup at Albion Park, and he was $81 as well. What was that?
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
I know where this was going.
I tipped one at 90. I tipped one at 91, boosted it to 126 on Friday, all spiked up. Have a look at the replay, race 5, loomed up on the corner, got out of the chair. And, Sharon backed him each way, so she had $5 on it, $19 the play, so she's happy. She paid for her hair, or part of her hair. You know what hairdressers are like these days, but paid for part of the hair. Hairdressing.
Yeah. It's outstanding achievement. Look, Harry Buchanan gave Belmont Bullet a good push on the pod we did Wednesday as well, and I made the point to him. He was, saying, you throw enough darts kind of thing, but look, 60, 70, 80 to 1 chances at the dogs. They're like 400 to 1 chances at the horses. So, they don't come along too often if you can find them. You deserve to blow your own trumpet a little bit, Pedro.
Now, there won't be a Greyhound Gossip next Monday, being Easter Monday, so we will talk to you when you get across to Perth. What are the plans for you, and what sort of work will you be doing over here for Sky Racing when you do arrive?
I'm sure I'll find out over the next week or so, but my first point of call, I think we've got the function on Thursday, Pete, so I'll be a social butterfly there as usual. As I say, I do most of my best work after dark, so I'm sure I'll be attending plenty of functions and having a couple of shandies with yourself and all the participants, Pete, catching up with plenty of old friends. Can't wait, to be honest.
Well, Leia and I both can't wait to have you over here, so we're looking forward to that. And I believe Kat Ernst is coming across as well. There's going to be lots of interstate people coming across, and we'll look after you all. So safe travels. Good luck this weekend with the Golden Easter Egg, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next week.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Good on you. Jason Lincoln joining us on Greyhound Gossip, and 11, 12 days away from what is going to be the race of the Sandgroper. $500,000 on offer. Leia, first time we've ever had a $500,000 race here in Perth. The slot race, there's still a little bit to work out over the next few days with Team Britain and also Team Guest from the Robartsons on who they'll be choosing, and then it'll be all eyes on Cannington on Friday the 14th.
Well, we'll know very soon, Pete, because the nominations close, so we will have all the runners announced before, I suppose next week.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I'm heading up to Northam today. The first they're getting underway at 1:34, so I'm about to hit the road. I'll look forward to catching up with you. Might be lucky enough to talk to you just before you finish your shift, and we'll do a preview of today's racing.
Fantastic. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Pete.